M. Night Shyamalan is back to give us his next season of The Servant, which is on Apple TV+, and the first episode premieres this Friday, and I got a lowdown on a non-spoiler review of the first 7 episodes, so let's talk about it. What's going on, buddy? Welcome back to a brand new TV review. Today we're going to be going over Season 2 of The Servant in non-spoiler fashion. Now, of course, like I said, I only have seen episode 1 through 7. That's all they provided for press. And I'm very much excited to see where the rest of the season goes because let's just get this out of the way. This season was a little too slow in the couple first episodes, and I sat there going, alright, you gotta get me back on board. And thankfully it did, and we're gonna discuss a lot of that. But of course, if you guys are new here though, and you guys love talking movies, TV, or games, then this is the channel for you guys. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so we can keep talking movies, TV, and all sorts of that stuff over here on a daily basis, as well as comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for the second season? Did you guys get to see the first season? Let's discuss it all down there. For background history for me, I didn't review the first season of The Servant because I wasn't a big advocate for Apple TV Plus yet. But once I finally got around to watching some of their shows, the first one being Defending Jacob, which I was a major fan of, and ever since then, I've been hook, line, and sinkered on a lot of their shows because they're very unique, they're very developed, and I have my issues with certain of them, but I think Apple TV Plus is actually one of the more underrated streaming services out there, whether it's the movies, the shows, whatever you want to say it is, they have a lot of great content. And the first season of Servant was something that me and my girlfriend just put on because we both really like M. Night Shyamalan, we want to see what he's done with a produced show, and that first season really rocked my world. You know, it's not perfect, there's pretty much the same cons that I have with that first season, I have within the second season. There's a little bit too much product placement, and we'll kind of get into all that, and certain of the elements with certain characters can a little bit meander. But The Servant was creepy, and it kept me engaged, and for only being like 28 to 30 minutes per episode, it was a very easy binge. We binged it in one sitting, and we adored it, and had a blast with it, and ever since then, we've been waiting for Season 2, and finally getting to watch Season 2, I can say I like it. But I really wish they would have provided those last 3 episodes, and I think that will actually change my grade for this season. Because the first 3 to 4 episodes of this season are quite slow. And don't get me wrong, they're still interesting, but it picks up exactly where Season 1 left off. And I was sitting there waiting to see where we would get to. And really much, it takes a bit to finally start getting there. The first 2 episodes fly by and I'm like, alright, I feel like we're still in the same exact position. And then finally the 3rd episode kicks in and it starts moving the story a little bit more. And I'm like, thank you. As on a side note to that, yes, while I do think it should have taken a little bit more faster of a tone to get us to where we're going, especially since each episode is only 30 minutes or less, I will say the pro to that is we do get a little bit more character development, especially the psyche into each and every one of our characters and the aftermath and the effects of Season 1 onto them now. Because the second season of The Servant takes definitely a supernatural turn with a darker future for all lying ahead as Leanne returns to the brownstone house and her true nature is revealed. That true nature really much didn't come out till I finally got to those last few episodes, but still, talking about the performances enough, Lauren Ambrose just kills the role as Dorothy Turner. Her psyche is completely broken at this point, and it's very much intriguing to see where that will end up going within the last 3 episodes. As well as Toby Kebbell, I think he's one of the most underrated actors working today, and I'm so happy he's in this role and that he's in this show because he's great. But truly enough, the standout is Rupert Grint, who everyone knows as Ron Weasley, but he absolutely steals the show every single episode, every single time, whether it's his mannerisms, his vocals, his performance, just in general, he steals the show every single time. But we get enough into each and every one of their psyches in those first 3 episodes that I very much appreciated. Going even further into that, the direction, the cinematography, the production design, that creepy atmosphere that that first season had is all back and more, and very much so settles into you. At times where you see the camera moving down a hallway and it quick turns and it moves again and you're like, oh my god, I kind of don't want to look. Even though it's not a jump scare show, you don't know what's around that next corner. And that's something I've always liked about The Servant. Again, that pro from Season 1 is back in Season 2, and if not better, because a majority of the season takes place in that house. pretty much for the most part, it's all in that house. And the first season was very much like that, but sometimes they would leave. But that's the smartest thing about the show, is how it's all set in this one area. And I love shows that are able to really take that area and take it into Storm, and really how big the house is. If you can remember, they really go to every layer of that house, and even rooms that you didn't even think they had in the first season. They go to new rooms in the second season. Also, Neil Free is also fantastic as Leanne. She's very subdued and subtle into her performance, and again, some of the stuff she's actually dealing with in this role, especially in one episode that I did get to see for season 2, we finally see the greatest range that we've seen from her, and the frustration that might come about out of her. And this is what's really kind of getting down, is that we know that M. Night Shyamalan has at least written up to season 4 of The Servant, and it's very much interesting to see how this show might transcend till there, because for me, this is only season 2, and it feels like just the beginning of a story. And again, I still have 3 episodes to see in this, and I can't wait till they finally premiere. But The Servant, for me, it's still a blast to watch, and especially once it finally started kicking off, I was finally invested. My biggest issue with this season, it just took too long to get there. Within 3 episodes, I was still sitting there waiting, and it felt like, yes, we're building on the psyche of all these characters, but I feel like you could have done that at the same time of building up the story. And again, one of the things I mentioned earlier in this review is the product placement. I usually don't have that big of an issue with product placement unless it's straight in your face, say a la Transformers, which are really bad in your face as well, and a couple other movies, and perhaps like Sonic the Hedgehog last year. I think, yes, I know this is an Apple TV Plus show, and I know they're going to use iPhones and FaceTime and all sorts of stuff like that, but sometimes they rely on it a little too much. And in the first season, I found it to be clever, but also in your face, but not too much. In this season, it's a lot more. And you know, I don't know, sometimes it just gets in the way and takes me out of this world like, oh, I'm watching a show again. And, you know, it's not a giant detriment to the show, but I think it definitely would intrude and ruin some people's enjoyment, and it's just something I need to mention, because sometimes it does take me out of the atmosphere I'm sucked into, and other times it doesn't. But overall, The Servant Season 2, episodes 1 through 7 that I have seen, and just going into non-spoilers, I have enjoyed. It definitely meanders a little bit too much in those first 3 episodes, and I really wish it would have just kept going and went a little bit faster. But again, diving into the psyche of each and every one of our characters and really dealing with the aftermath of the first season was interesting. I'm interested to see where the next 3 episodes particularly go, because that could either raise this rating a little bit more or down a little bit more, and I will be doing a follow-up episode review after the entire season is out and talking full spoilers through the entire show, and I can't wait to have you guys join me for that one as well. So with all that said, as of right now, I'm going to give The Servant Season 2 a B-, but that could go up or down depending on those last 3 episodes. Thank you guys again so much for clicking on this. You guys are seriously all the best. Make sure to head on over to Samtron Films on how to see films early. And of course, it's a big thank you to you and a big thank you to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Enjoy the rest of your guys' day. Can't wait to hear your guys' thoughts each and every week on The Servant. And look out for more video reviews coming soon. We got WandaVision later this week. We got even The Marksman, Outside the Wire. Tons of content coming soon. And I know you guys will all be right there, because I give out free cookies here. Maybe. One day. I don't know. Thank you guys again, and of course, until next time, stay classy.